Have y'all ever read the book of Adam and Eve? If you haven't, you can literally Google it. You can find it. There's this one website that I go to consistently for these lost books, and I believe it's called archive.org. I don't go there necessarily like directly. I'll Google it, and then when the results come up, the one that says archive.org, I normally go to that one to read these books. But let me talk about the book, right? So the book of Adam and Eve is pretty much in-depth version of Genesis. And it talks about specifically the different responsibilities that both Adam and Eve had within the garden before they were kicked out. Side note, I found this to be very interesting, but Adam was in charge of all of the male animals and Eve was in charge of all the female animals. Fun fact. So after they left the garden, they went out into the world, and it says in the book of Adam and Eve that they could not find anything here except for animal food, which I just automatically assumed grass, hay, leaves, that type of stuff. Animal food. It was no produce here for them to eat. So they had to fast for like a good, I don't remember exactly how many days. I just know it was some ridiculous amount of time. Like, I would have lost it. It was like 10 plus days that they did not get food. They did not have food when they left. And they went out searching the world for food. And they like searched pretty much all around the world, or at least they could, walk to. And they didn't find anything. So they ended up going back to Eden. And pretty much was like, hey God, I know you kicked us out, but ain't no food out here. What we supposed to do? After that, Adam was allowed to go and take seeds. He was allowed to go and take things to go ahead and grow food for himself. And then the angels went and showed him how to till to the land, how to manage the land, that type of stuff, and how to grow food for himself. Okay, so at a certain point of them leaving, both Adam and Eve both decided we're going to go on a fast. And they both went on an extended fast, and they did not eat. I believe it was 40 days. Adam went on the fast for 40 days, and Eve went on the fast for 44 days. But I feel like I'm getting ahead of myself because they went on a fast. They went on a fast like 2 different times. But anyways, this first time they went on the fast, Adam went and he stood in the Jordan River with the water up to his neck for an extended amount of time. I believe it was like 30 days or something like that. Standing in the water, not eating nothing. Now, first of all, that's crazy. Second of all, Eve did the same thing. She was in the Tigris River with the water. I believe the water was up to her waist. It wasn't necessarily up to her neck. Stood in it for days on end. I'm going to skip the part about Cain and Abel because, well, we all know that story. But I want to get to Seth and beyond, right? After Seth was born, and around the time that Adam was about to die. First of all, Adam knew he was about to die. He knew he was about to die because he felt pain for the first time in his body. To the point where he was sitting there telling Eve and the kids, like, I'm really going through it right now. There's so much pain in my body. And the kids was like, Dad, what's pain? Huh? So as Adam is laying there on his deathbed, right? Eve, it says in the book that Eve perceived that she was also going to pass soon. So she went to her children and she told them, write down everything that your father and I have told you. And I want you to write it down on 2 different forms of manuscript. I want you to write one in clay and I want you to write one in stone. Because the Lord is going to destroy the earth in 2 different methods. One is going to be by water and the other one is going to be by fire. They knew about the resurrection. That was something that was like, huh? Adam and Eve knew about the resurrection? What? She said this because if God were to destroy the earth by water, the stone tablets would survive. And if God were to destroy the earth by fire, the clay tablets would bake hard. So Eve knew by the knowledge of the Lord how to preserve these manuscripts so that we can still have them today. That is insane to me because I feel like a lot of times when people preach about Adam and Eve, they be like, oh, they were like children. They were like children to the point of they were ignorant in the world because they did not know how to live in the world, because in Eden everything was pretty much like given to them, but they were not dumb. Don't get it twisted. They were wise. the language that Eve used, it shows both her and Adam were wise. They were wise human beings. So yeah, if you want to read the book of Adam and Eve, go ahead and do that. Look that up and read that. Go ahead and do that. Yeah.